Recently, I put together a video talking about the red flags that you should be on the lookout for in martial arts gyms. The video was successful, many people appreciated it. Today I want to turn the focus to 4 red flags that you need to be on the lookout for in martial arts instructors or coaches. Now I'm going to be honest with everybody, I could probably come up with a list of 50 things that you should be on the lookout for. There are so many elements, attributes that make people bad coaches, but today we're focusing on 4 things, assuming you already think you have a pretty good coach, 4 things that you might have not realized you should be looking for if, and this is only if, you are interested in getting your skill level as high as it can possibly go. If you're just there for fun and you're going, oh, you know what, I just don't really care. I could just do a Zumba sort of kickboxing class and I'll be happy, or Taibo, maybe it was called Taibo years ago, then yeah, this video is not for you. But if you're interested in improving your skills to the max that you can, then you need to take a look at this list of 4 things and make sure your coach is not doing these. Number 1, they don't provide personal attention. What do I mean by that? You're going, well, they're a coach, they're an instructor. Obviously, they're giving you attention and they're there teaching the class. But I've talked to many people, many people have messaged me saying, look I'm at the class, but the coach isn't coming around giving me any feedback. I'm going through the motions. I'm hitting the pads, I'm doing the bag work, I'm there, but I'm not getting the feedback that I want. And this is a sign that your coach is not really willing to put in the energy which is required to be a super awesome instructor. When I am teaching a class, I show everybody what I want, and then I walk around to a group or a single person, then I walk over to another person, and I'm always on the go. I'm always moving around, trying to give out as much information, as much knowledge, as many corrections as I possibly can, so my students are getting the absolute most out of not just their experience with me, but out of every single class. You want an instructor who's willing to do this. Yes, it takes more energy. It's much easier for me to show a drill. Like, okay guys, here's our combo. And then just to kind of stand there and watch, go, okay. Takes a lot more energy, a lot of effort to go around and actually explain things to people and really look and see what they're doing. But this is what you want out of an instructor. And there are many people who are going to do this. So just, be aware and make sure it's something that you are getting from your coach. Otherwise, you're not going to know what mistakes you're making and you're not going to have that correction to improve. The next thing that I want to talk about is your instructor hitting the students? It's martial arts. It's okay to hit the students. It's okay to hit them, but is he hurting them? And there's a fine line there, a fine balance. In the video the other day where I was talking about red flags for gyms, I was saying it's not great, in my opinion, if your coach or your instructor will not roll or spar with the other students. He doesn't need to be the best person in the room, and if they're injured or something, then sure, you got to give them a pass. But they should be moving around. If they're not, very often it's because, in my opinion, they're worried that somebody is going to discredit their skills. They're going to be like, oh, this person's a little better. I don't want to spar. I want to keep this idea in everybody's mind that I'm way up here. So you should be moving with your students, but you should not be hurting them. And there's that, like I said, fine line between, okay, I catch a kick and I dump the person on the ground, or I tap them, hit them to the body just a little bit so they kind of go, oh. All of that is fine. But I have heard of instructors completely dropping students to the floor where they're 100% winded, or sweeping people and having them land on their head, or even having students leave with bloody noses or concussions. If your instructor is doing this, their ego is far too big and they need to tone it down, and you probably need to find another gym, another coach before this happens to you. Plus, it sets a terrible precedent for all the more advanced students that it is okay to hurt anybody who is more of a beginner, and that is absolutely unacceptable. Moving on to point number 3. I really dislike, and you should too, when an instructor only teaches what they are good at. Now, yes, I like body hooks, so I'm going to teach a lot of body hooks, but I'm not only going to teach those, and I'm also going to show other people variations of ways to throw that technique that might work better for them. So if my style is a Muay Thai style, but I'm unwilling to accept any other possible way to fight, I'm very limited in the way I'm giving information to my students. Don't fall into this trap where people go, here's what I'm good at, and I'm only going to teach you this way because it is the only way that works. No, a good instructor should be, this works for me, but there's this and this and this and this. And I know how to do them all. I know how to teach it, even though I have my own style and my own way to throw techniques, to fight, to spar, whatever. A very good instructor should also be looking around the room and going, oh, okay, this guy, he's suited for this style. I'm going to teach him that way. And this guy, ooh, I need to mold him this way. And you can only do that if you're willing to teach things that you're not absolutely great at. And I do this all the time. I try to show students things which I can't do. And I already have guys who are like 15, 16 years old. They've been training with me for 10 years, but they can do things that I can't do. If I went, oh, that doesn't work for me, I'm not going to teach it, then these guys would never learn. Terrible asset in an instructor, not an asset, terrible deficiency in an instructor, and something you want to be on the lookout for. And the last thing that I want to focus on, which is probably going to confuse you when I first say it, is their class is always high pace. It's a high pace class. Go, 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 go. That, in my mind, is a red flag. Why? Well, because they're not taking a moment to breathe and slow the pace down and really teach you the technique. You cannot always be going 90 to 100% and actually learn things properly. And a lot of times it's easy for me to say, okay, guys, let's do circuits, let's do skipping, let's do shadow boxing, let's do bag work, let's hit pads, class done. And all you really got was a good workout, but you didn't stop and learn the technical side of maybe how to roll, or how to evade, or how to counter. You need classes which are slower, and instructors who don't have the ability to teach slower classes, it's probably because they're worried about, oh, if I slow things down and I try and teach something, people are gonna realize I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. So be aware of if your class is fast-paced and if you are getting that actual instruction, which is gonna help you become a better martial artist, as opposed to just instruction, which is gonna make you super fit. Again, like I said at the beginning of the episode, if you're only in martial arts to get super fit, then this episode's not really for you. But you shouldn't be wanting to do that, because even doing some sort of Taibo class where maybe you're throwing round kicks and you're going, oh yeah, it's so tiring, I'm working hard, but you're not learning to pivot, well, you're actually going to damage yourself long term. So instruction and slower pace sometimes is very, very important. And those are the 4 red flags that I hope you look out for in your martial arts instructor or your coach. If they have everything that I said, and you went, check, no, they don't do that, they don't do that, they don't do that, they don't do that, then chances are you probably have yourself a very good coach, and you are very fortunate. If a couple of those are flagged, you're going, ugh, maybe you could look for a new coach. If they do all of those, find a new gym, find a new coach, because they're not gonna help you the way other people can. And that is all I wanna leave you guys with today. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. Get subscribed if you have not already. As always, train hard, and I'll see you back here soon for another episode.